Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Today we're going to learn about a unique celebration of Vermont agriculture and food. It's called #Farm24VT. The event involves farmers and food producers coming together to offer the general public a virtual behind-the-scenes look at agriculture in our state. It is set to start at 5 a.m. on May 12th and run for a full 24 hours. Because of the pandemic, farmers have lost many of their opportunities to welcome neighbors and community members to their farms. School field trips, open houses, and drop-in visits have all stopped. #Farm24VT is designed to inspire new relationships between farmers and consumers and to allow customers to learn more about where their food comes from and see the people and animals who produce it. To learn more about #Farm24VT, I'm joined by two guests. Amy Richardson is a dairy farmer from Heartland, Vermont, and a board member of the Connecticut River Watershed Farmers Alliance. Hi, how you doing? And also with us is John Roberts. He is the director of the Champlain Valley Farmer Coalition based in Middlebury. Thank you both for taking the time to be with us today.
Our pleasure.
Hi, Fran. Good to see you.
So, Amy, tell us about #Farm24. And is it #Farm24VT or Vermont? Or how do you want that? And let us know that. And what is it and how does it work?
Sure. Thanks a lot for having us here today. Yes, #Farm24VT is the unique and new celebration that we've organized to kick off this year, starting at 5 a.m. May 12th and going a full 24 hours till 5 a.m. May 13th. And the VT part is an important distinction because #Farm24 is a celebration that already exists in other parts of the world. And I think we'll talk about that a little bit later as we go today. So make sure you have the VT in there. And for those who are on social media, you'll understand that you can follow the hashtag on the platforms that we'll be using, or you can follow the accounts. And I just wanted to say one thing, Fran, about your comment on an opportunity for farmers to build new relationships with each other and with consumers around Vermont, and that's totally true. However, we're feeling like it's going to be a good way for farmers to reconnect with already existing friends and networks around the state.
Absolutely terrific. And so John, who's been planning this event?
Well, Fran, this is a joint planning between the Champlain Valley Farmer Coalition and the Connecticut River Watershed Farmers Alliance. You'll learn in a minute how we came about this, but we set up a steering committee, which is made up of members of both organizations, both our organizing partners in the Extension Service and for the Champlain Valley Coalition, and with the Conservation District from out of White River for the Connecticut River Alliance. And so we've formed this committee, and we've been working on this now for since the fall, late fall.
Oh, fantastic. And so Amy, where did the origin of this idea, this fantastic idea, come from?
Well, the origin that I know of is based in the UK. Over there, it's a countrywide celebration, #Farm24, which is an annual event that takes place in August, I believe. And through my use of Instagram especially, I have several dozens of, quote, friends that are farming in the UK. And so I've been able to see this event happen over there. And the the great pride that farmers have in hosting this type of event, and then the huge interest that the folks watching or the consumers have in seeing what's going on, basically a day in the life on any type of farm. So with John being my most British friend in Vermont, he and I put our heads together and decided that perhaps our Farmer Alliance groups could apply for some funding collaboratively, and we could maybe make this a project that would include farmers from all over Vermont, from the Champlain Valley to the Connecticut River Valley and everywhere in between.
It's fantastic, and I guess in the UK, over 100 million people have participated and watched this. I don't think we're going to find that here in Vermont, but you know, clearly this is a very powerful idea. So, John, then why is this event, do you feel, is so important for Vermont agriculture and its food systems?
Well, first of all, Vermont agriculture and food system is critical to the Vermont economy. It employs over 64,000 Vermonters in it, in a broad spectrum, from the person who cleans up behind the cow to the person who wraps the cheese and delivers it to the store or to the website. It's a $11.3 billion economic activity in the state. And through the pandemic, Vermonters, who we all know love to eat local, we're ranked highest in the nation for consumption of local food. You know, they were made very aware of the importance of local food, short supply chains, and all of that evidence that we had when, back at the beginning a year ago, when store shelves cleaned out and milk on occasion wasn't even available, even in Vermont. And farmers really miss their community. They miss this interaction with each other. They miss the interaction with their consumers. They are playing an important and vital role. And as we know, many people, or majority of people, are not connected to the dairy farming or farming in general. And you know, we feel this would be an excellent way for the consumer to see short snippets of what goes on in a farmer's life, whether it's hoeing the vegetables, plucking lettuce, milking the cow, delivering the calf, feeding the lamb, tending to the goat, whatever it is. And you know, we're just very excited about the potential here.
Right, of really getting farmers and consumers and all those kids who are missing visiting the farm and this year. So Amy, you are this avid social media storyteller with more than 18,000 followers on Instagram. Why do you think it's important for Vermont farmers and food producers to also be active on social media?
Well, I have to say that I'm, you know, only as avid as someone who's not a millennial, I guess, can be. I really have to try and keep it in check. But I think that, you know, the whole story for me goes back to my dairy co-op, the Cabot Co-op, going really out of its way to encourage farmer members to be active in telling our stories about what we do, because we're the ones who are best to tell the farm stories, whatever they are, around Vermont. And so with that, you know, the words from John's comment just a minute ago that stand out in my mind are snippets of your life or your daily life, and then community. And for me, that's what it's all about, is sort of being isolated on my farm with my cows and my family. And I love that. But at the same time, I feel like I have such a beautiful, supportive, valuable community that I'm part of, which is on social media. I mean, I never would have guessed that it would become this valuable tool for me. But I think it's a tool that's really accessible to farmers of all ages and stages. And you know, the video clips are usually meant to be very short. I'm not on TikTok. You don't have to do that. You can focus on one social media platform. And I mean, I have found that I have neighbors who follow me on Instagram who I don't really see in daily life, but yet they're following what I'm doing and they're interested. And then I have friends in the UK who are doing
Right.
similar things, and we talk about similar weather.
So, Amy, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're
No,
starting to
it's
run out of time. And just to give people a quick sense of it, because you know, besides planning this, you're also a dairy farmer who's participating in the event itself. You might be starting at 5 a.m. What are you planning to show about your farm, and what do you hope people will learn?
Well, I can't promise anything as of today, but really what I do is I just carry my phone in my pocket as I'm going about my daily work. And, you know, I take care of calves. We'll have cows out on pasture or some heifers out on pasture by May 12th. So I'll be able to talk about that. And I love to focus on the seasons and how they affect what we're doing on the farm. I think it's really important for non-agricultural folks to learn about how cows are not out on pasture year round in Vermont and what that means. And then I do the afternoon milking. So
We'll be there.
whatever comes along that day, I think will be worth
So
sharing.
with less than a minute, if farmers and agribusinesses want to get involved, is there still time to sign up, John?
Absolutely. People should go to www.farm24vt.com, and they will even see, the first thing they will see there is a time clock counting down. It's right at 14 days, 19 hours and 56 minutes right this moment. And on there, they are links to 2 social media webinars about, if you're not familiar, if you're that sort of thing, but take the pledge, sign up, be active, and we're hoping this goes beyond Vermont.
I'm sure it will.
And
We are
beyond
a
The internet
regional-
does.
Yep. And so we're excited about that.
So folks at home can also participate by going to the same website. So
Yes.
that's terrific, the farm24vt.com. Thank you so much for telling us about this and for putting together this wonderful event. John and Amy, thank you for being with us today. And thank you for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Stay well.